Back on the Exit 52 podcast. It is Sunday night, September 7th. We are presented, as always, by Jimmy's Famous Seafood. My name is Jake Louque. I'm joined by all the homies, SMH, Spenny, Taylor, and Brian. We are here, boys, to break down one of the all-time bottle jobs in Ravens history. I would probably be pretty comfortable saying that. This game had everything, as they say, except for competent defense, and except for the Ravens winning, if you had a vested interest in that, which we all did. To me, the first thing that comes to mind is once again, this happens to them. Once again, they find a way to step on their own toes and snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. But that's just kind of the raw emotional reaction to it. Spenny, how are you feeling?
Not good. I mean, good. It was confounding to watch. I mean, the Derrick Henry fumble, in addition to the earlier Justice Hill fumble, which the Ravens did recover at least. Because it's like, what do you say? Like, you want Derrick Henry to melt the game away for you. He runs rampant, basically beat the brakes off of them, and then that fumble happened, and that kind of did it. And there was other things. There was many things they did well. There's many things they did poorly. Now we get to have a bunch of fucking people talking about firing Harbaugh after week one. Sure, there were some things to critique, but the Derrick Henry fumble, I just don't understand. It was like one of the given things in life that you can trust Derrick Henry at the end of a game. And somebody gets in his face, pops the ball out. Bills have the ball suddenly after you kind of, half of Buffalo's empty. So whatever. I mean, I don't care. What is there any point in living anymore? Like, what the hell? What is that? I don't know what to say.
Yeah, no, it just felt like again, I'll keep saying it. It just feels like they just stepped on a rake here. Like you had a 15-point lead with 4 minutes to go in this game, and yeah, it's just you look back at how it could have been an even bigger lead potentially with Tyler Louque missing an extra point with the end of the half sequence where Allen floats the ball to the sideline. You have 1 second left. The Ravens are running to the locker room. Taylor, what was your reaction in that moment, and your reaction to this one?
Yeah, I mean that's about as bad as it gets from a snatching defeat from the jaws of victory scenario. Sorry, I kind of blacked out. Was that a question about the end of the half?
Yeah, I mean, just overall thoughts. Like, we'll just throw
Yeah. I mean, look, these games are crazy. This is Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson. This is, when you play against Josh Allen, it's like I would imagine when every other fan base plays against Lamar. It's just so hard the whole game. He does unbelievable stuff the whole game. He gets out of things he shouldn't. And he makes, a couple great plays to get them down there to get the field goal at the end of the half. And yes, could the Ravens have not run a play before the 2-minute warning and salted the clock better to not give them that much time? Sure, but that's a great player going to get in his team 3, and the Ravens defense didn't make a play. No, I mean it's brutal. It's a brutal loss, and I'm totally with Spenny. I mean, you get the ball back and you give it to Derrick Henry. You're like, well, even if they don't get a first down, he's not fumbling. He's certainly not fumbling. He never shows any propensity at all. And Ed Oliver, who made like 3 great plays, including that one during the game, made a great play. And the Ravens get the ball back again with a chance to salt the game away. And 0 from Derrick Henry. They're on the little play to Zay. You don't get it. You're 3 yards short on the pass to Hopkins. Like, you'd hope you figure out a way to get a first down there, and you don't do it. And then Josh kind of does what he does, and it was kind of inevitable. He was at least going to give them a kick, and he gave Matt Prater a very easy one. So, I don't even really know what to say. It felt so good at what it took. It's in a regular season game. I don't know really that if you go from a bigger range of feeling great to feeling horrible over the course of like 45 real minutes or an hour of real time, but long season is all you can say.
I am simultaneously at a loss for words and have so many thoughts just running through my head right now. I have been a little bit sick all weekend. I am literally sweating in real time. My glasses are fogging up because of the rage just coming through me right now. I'm trying to think of, like, there's a singular emotion with this particular loss that I can't find another loss to compare it to. It is so singularly, like, frustrating. It's frustrating adjacent, right? Because they showed you everything they have, everything they can be in a 60-minute football game. Like, they showed why they could not just be a Super Bowl winner, but like a historic Super Bowl winner, a team that could beat the brakes off of every team they face, embarrass them, clown them, beat them up, bully them, all that good stuff. And they showed everything that's been so frustrating about this team for the last handful of years. Poor clock management, penalties, just an inability to just do the simple thing, a lack of a killer instinct. Just you could just rattle off so many things that, like, I thought for so much of this game they were playing a sloppy game, but they were playing so much better and at such a higher level than the Bills that it just wasn't going to matter anyways. And they found a way for those mistakes to just compound on each other and eventually get to a point where they got a little tiny bit of life, and then Josh Allen does what he does. So the frustrating part, I think, is that none of this is new. Like, if this is a young team that is just trying to learn their way through winning, and they've got gobs of talent, but they're just not there yet, that's not who this team is. And if they were stewing in the offseason, like Tirico says they are, about how pissed off they are, and there's all this energy on the sideline about revenge and talking shit and all this stuff, the margins for them to clean up were all the things that they fucked up tonight. They knew they could run all over the Bills. They did it last year in week 4 or whatever a week it was. Like, and they even flexed a couple of those new pieces. The DeAndre Hopkins touchdown was electric. I mean, that was an unbelievable play. Like, we're a better team than we were last year, and somehow we're still finding ourselves here. And it just shouldn't be that way. So I'm have a lot of thoughts, but at the same time, I'm really struggling to organize them right now because that's just how deflating and confounding that this loss is.
I think the frustrating adjacent part is a very good way to sum up
it's like disappointment. It's like a parent. Like, it's like what the fuck,
kind of watching the Ravens is because, as you said, Brian, there's so much good. There's just so much good, and there's so much, like, you watch that team for 3 quarters and you're saying, you know, Jake and Spen, you guys both picked them to win the Super Bowl. You're like, man, does that looks great. I mean, look, yes, there are things to clean up. Yes, there were mistakes made, but you're like, okay, week 1, offense looks incredible. You know, defense, obviously, but you're playing Josh Allen. You know you're going to have to score 30 plus to beat them there. You just know you're going to have to, and they do it, and they're in position to win. And then, so that frustrating, because you're not even like mad because because you were there. You did all the things you were sort of supposed to do to get down there, and then, you know, all the series of unfortunate events happens, including some that were obviously on the Ravens. Not saying it was some, you know, a bunch of the universe going against them. You know, maybe that's the tip pass, but a fumble, you know, sliding to the end zone when you could have just easily downed the ball at the 1. You know, those little things like accumulate. But that frustrating adjacent is a very, very good way to put it, because you can say, look, you can also sit here if you want to be Mr. Positive, and I am normally Mr. Positive just generally, and you can say, look, this is week 1 of a really long season, and that is a very, very talented football team on the field. If you were going to go on the negative side, which I've heard a lot of, it would be, you know, this, as you said, Brian, this is what happens every single year. They haven't actually cleaned up the things they need to clean up to get across the ultimate finish line. And that's also a fair point to make. It just depends on the perspective you want to take on it. But it's a very good way to put it. It's less almost anger and more just disappointment at the fact that they can't get over the line in these situations.
It's like a teenager who should have learned their lesson by now, but they keep making the same fucking mistake over and over, and they have all the potential of the world to get straight A's or whatever. I just feel like a parent that's like,
I feel like they do make straight A's, but then they're fucking popping firecrackers off in the parking lot
the night before graduation.
Why am I still picking up this kid from jail? Like, why? Like, what is going on?
Not everything else going for you, and it's just like, to me, that's kind of, in a lot of ways, sadly, that's kind of the story of this whole era, right? They looked like the better team 95% of the night. You know, they looked like the better team. They're the more talented team. I think that showed through pretty clear, particularly on offense. and they just kept getting in their own way. And again, it was just a situational thing. It's like 4 points or whatever that you just essentially gift wrap them. You kick that field goal a little bit early with Louque. You could have taken time off the clock there that would have prevented them from getting the field goal at the end of that half.
Keon Coleman catches a tip ball on fourth down for a touchdown. They get the DPI on fourth down. Jair Alexander gets picked on. The sequence of events was I just had it. The sequence of events was incomplete on 1st and 10 from the Ravens 18. Incomplete on 2nd and 10 from the Ravens 18. Josh Allen, short pass to Josh Palmer for 8 yards. They get pressure on him. Kyle Van Noy, holding happens all the time. Gets called, doesn't get called. Kyle Van Noy maybe gets held there a little bit. Fires, smacks off Dawson Knox or whatever tight end's hands, and then finds Keon Coleman in the back of the end zone. I'm not done because that was just a tipped ball that found a Bill. And then the Ravens get the ball back with 3 minutes and 56 seconds. And Lamar Jackson cleans shop on the left sideline for a 13-yard gain. First down. Oh, cool. Ravens are moving the ball, still have a lead. They're up by, 8. Bills would have to get the ball back, score. They got to get a stop. Oh, nope. Fumble. Derrick Henry, fumble. Bills ball. Touchdown. After the defense was gassed. And then they even get the 2-point conversion stop. And then the Ravens offensive
three times.
So it's like the pendulum swing of the luck plus the pendulum swing of, the offense exploded for 40 points, but then suddenly can't get first downs and is fumbling the ball. The defense gets a stop and gives the ball back to the offense with a lead, and they can't put the game away. So, it's just, there's always easy things to take away. And the last loss you had to the Bills was in Buffalo in heartbreaking fashion. And this loss was in Buffalo in heartbreaking fashion. I would say worse. I would say this is way worse than that playoff game. Like way, way, way worse. You were unstoppable. You were up. Your offense is humming. You're dancing. Their fans are acting like assholes, touching your guys and leaving the stadium. The stadium is empty. Throwing beers at your guys because you're stomping them. And
clowning. It was a clowning.
It was a combination of things. They choose to punt the ball. The Jair Alexander had a really, really rough second half. He shoestring tackles Keon Coleman. Maybe he runs in. Maybe you get the ball back. Maybe you can go do something. Maybe. But it wasn't maybe. It was no. It was no, you did not. And they lose. And it just sucks because, to me, the part that the fan side that hurts the worst is if they lost 27-20 or 30-20 or whatever, whatever. It's a week 1 loss in Buffalo.
Well, keep going. Loss. Yep.
When you looked like Taylor, you said, you looked like, people are tweeting, big national guys tweeting, oh shit, the AFC is terrified. Oh my God, the Ravens, DeAndre Hopkins is making one-handed catches. The Bills can't touch Derrick Henry. And then you lost with some weird stuff.
I picked them to lose this game like that, right? I picked them to a nice back and forth shootout. You lose by a point or two, whatever. You feel good leaving the week. And there's still a lot of things I do feel good about, but it just sucks, man, when, like I said, 15 points with 4 minutes left on the clock. And you mentioned the Henry fumble, one of the more inexplicable things out there. And then obviously this defense, they've got a problem stopping the big boy quarterbacks in the big boy moments. Josh Allen in particular, man. I get that he is right up there. He's impossible to bring down. Only one sack.
I'd say the Bills have the same problem too. It's just Jesus.
Yeah, no, but it's it's not encouraging that this is the guy that you're gonna have to beat to get over that hump. And oh, by the way, there's another guy too that's maybe that has the better resume, obviously. And then you got to deal with Joe Burrow twice a year, and maybe again in the playoffs. And it's just man, for all this investment in the defense and all the excitement about Jair Alexander and Zachary Orr in his second year, and you bring in Chuck Pagano and Dean Pease with the bend don't break stuff. I love it all in theory, but when you get into these situations and high leverage and they just continue to bottle it, it's again, loss for words. That's kind of the way that it comes back to for me as well.
What's amazing about the whole scenario, I just want to explain what you said. If they, because I was about to make the exact same point. If they play okay and lose 27-24, we come on here and we say, well, tough game. You go to Buffalo and it's
last year with Kansas City.
Correct. No big deal. Let's get rolling. You hope that they lose another game and you figure out a way to get the 1 seed. We're just what's honestly most disappointing is we're just back in narrative hell. it took us 60 minutes of game to get back in narrative hell, which just means we're going to have to come on here week after week after week when the Ravens roll the Browns next week. It's like, well, awesome. Like, see you in Buffalo in January. I mean, like, it's just, we're just back there immediately, as opposed to either way, if the Ravens, complete this win, we're like, what a fantastic win. That's one that you remember when you're going for seeding later of the year, or if they lose kind of in ho-hum fashion, even in close fashion, like the Bills go up, they ride the momentum, the Ravens kind of come back and they lose. We come on here and we're like, well, that's fine. Accounted for that one. Like, let's start rolling. And now we're kind of back at almost like a playoff-esque disappointing type of performance/loss. And so we're just kind of in this hurricane again to a certain extent.
But the result matters.
Which is what it is.
The result fucking matters.
And that's
it mattered last year. We're not in fucking 5-degree weather in Buffalo. And I'm not blaming this or pointing this particular one out because there's a bajillion points along the season that we can point out. But if Likely's foot is just 2 inches different in Kansas City, we're not going to Buffalo for that game, I don't think.
Yeah, Kyle Hamilton,
100%.
Jameis Winston hands Kyle Hamilton a ball and he drops it, and you lose to the Raiders with however 150 penalty yards or whatever. Like, those are the margins, and like when you lose games like this, like I said, it's an acceptable loss, but in the fashion that you lost it, it's tough. It makes your margin for error in those types of games a lot slimmer. Like, you can't afford to lose games like that, and they have shown a propensity to lose weird games in that way. And in 2023, it was the Colts, and you do go on to get your 1 seed and everything, but it's not always going to work out like that. You just make it tougher on yourself. And again, if they lose it in a different fashion, we're probably singing a different tune, but this was a great opportunity, just lost, and you gift wrapped it.
Massive opportunity.
Yeah. And it's
massive opportunity.
It's probably going to be a factor at the end of the season, unfortunately.
Do you feel sight unseen, but you know what the roster is going into tonight, and then you come away after the game tonight? Like, do you feel more or less confident that this is a Super Bowl champion caliber team?
I don't know if I'd say more or like, I don't feel less. Like, I feel like they still could, but it's just like, that's the thing. You're talking about the roster, right?
Sure.
This roster,
no, just like, or just like, okay, now we're a week later, we're 0-1. The Bills have somewhat of a 2-game lead.
Yeah, with that context as well. No, I still feel great about the roster. I still feel like they could roll a bunch of these teams. Like, I think they're going to be fine long term in terms of the regular season. But we have a lot of people in the comments here pointing out the fact that this just kind of feels baked into their DNA at a certain point, and usually you only really see it in the playoffs. But man, you get them up against, like I said, these big boy quarterbacks, and this defense has a tendency to wilt, and that's just the way that it goes with how talented these guys are. But
in fairness, we have seen this outside of the playoffs too. I mean, we did this a few years ago where they were blowing fourth quarter leads, to the Dolphins and et cetera, et cetera. I don't need to go through all the gory details. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just a question of whether what's disappointing is it just feels like we're talking about the same things in regards to the team over and over and over. Which, yeah, you start to talk about coaching and leadership and all those things that were not in the building. So those things are just become speculation, and you kind of just go through. But to your question, Brian, this is going to sound crazy. I mean, I feel great about the team. I mean, it is a good team. It is a fun team to watch. The offense was rolling. Yes. Could the defense have played better? Sure. If they tighten it up in 5 weeks, you have the potential to really, really roll. You could really, really roll through the year. And then we'll just get back to whether they can, as you said, Jake, whether you can get on the other side of these small margins in January. But they have it all there. And it's all, I mean, I was ready to come on here and talk about how great they played offensively, how even though you didn't get as many stops you wanted to be defensive, I still thought they were pretty physical. But yeah, just sucks. Just sucks.
Yeah. Not really a whole lot to say when the wound is fresh like this. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, just overall, I don't want it to go unremarked upon how awesome this offense was. I mean, it was everything. It was Lamar Jackson, 14 for 19, 209 through the air, 2 touchdowns. The pass to DeAndre Hopkins and that catch was sick. He added 70 yards on the ground on 6 attempts and a touchdown too. So 3 total touchdowns for him. Derrick Henry, 18 for 169 and 2. Zay Flowers, just a beast in this game, 7 for 143 and 1. And yeah, it just looked like they had all the answers offensively until the end. And you mentioned the Henry fumble, Spenny, and then I think the sequencing there on that very last drive, it looked like to me that they played it scared a little bit with the jet sweep and the other play they called. They had Zaire Mitchell-Payton in there, which is kind of that struck me as
They're saying that Lamar was cramping badly at the end of the game. Lamar said that apparently as well.
Hamilton really did get a piece of that field goal too.
Yeah.
Hamilton touched that ball.
He just.
It was, I mean, truly, if you're not a fan of the Ravens, it was an incredible game to watch.
It was.
Josh
It was an
threw
incredible.
like 3 or 4 interceptable balls and
high
Lamar
octane
didn't.
cinema.
Yeah,
And people say this, focus on the drive before Henry fumbled. No, I'm not going to. Like, what do you want to? Then there's a million comments. John Harbaugh is just miserable that we host this fucking podcast. And the comments are about firing the fucking coach after this game in week 1. That is my nightmare. You guys have the nightmare of the game, I suppose. It was miserable for me too. Like the listeners, my nightmare is the comments on John Harbaugh. Having to comment on the coach in week 1 is miserable. That is just miserable. Absolutely miserable.
We are narrative hell. The Ravens are a narrative hell until they make the Super Bowl.
narrative hell. The Ravens scored 20 points in each half. They ran for 250 yards, excluding Justice Hill's like little backwards fumble thing.
And we've talked about Henry's fumble. He was incredible in this game.
Brock, yeah, I love this. I was about to cry. I was literally about to cry. I was so upset.
You should.
I'm exhausted. I had a long weekend. This was miserable. Absolutely miserable.
I just want.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. This is what I love, Brock. Yeah,
Derrick Henry's getting in categories with Walter Payton tonight. I mean, this is where we are, and the story of his game is the worst fumble he'll ever have.
For 100 yards, they threw that up in halftime. And I was like, oh, sick. I'm sure. What could go wrong after that stat? What could go wrong?
Yeah, I don't know. Roster wise, no Keaton Mitchell.
Don't care. Why is everyone obsessed with Keaton Mitchell? I don't understand. He has like 50 career carries. Was he going to get the ball instead of Henry? No, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean,
Jaire
Alexander was bad. He was really bad. He was playing a lot, considering that he was out a lot. And as we get a comment here, Colin Donahue, thank you for the donation. Jaire not practicing for a month showed. Yeah, it did. Had the bad DPI on 4th down.
He was not good.
Got torched throughout the last drive. It's just like there's always just that's been the common theme the last couple of years. It's like there's always, Jake, we said it, like, who's my bitch? We thought Jaire Alexander would not be the case, maybe. There's always a corner that you can pick on. There's always a corner on the Ravens that you can pick on. The last couple of years, you can just attack, exploit, attack. And tonight was Jaire Alexander. They picked on him, and he gave the game away. That and the fumble. Like, I would argue maybe like you could not play him as much and maybe put TJ Tampa in or someone else. Like that could have been reasonable, but then you probably pissed Jaire Alexander off, right? Like that would make him mad. So there's that fun tightrope to walk. And I don't know, man. I just think it's Allen, man. Like there's just the guy's fucking impossible to stop. I mean, you got a fucking tip ball catch touchdown. That's what won the game. Like that was. Otherwise, I turned the ball over. Maybe the Ravens like all fell down and like in a roly-poly-oly and walked back into the end zone. So many crazy things. Kyle Hamilton pitching that ball back to Kyle Van Noy in the end zone. Like that's
wanting nothing to do with that. Like
that was awesome. An all-time. Screw this. Let me just take a knee at the one.
Yep. Yeah.
Van Noy went down to the end zone. That was.
We didn't even talk about that Louque missed the PAT.
Oh, I brought that up. Yeah. I mean, that's like that. That's looming large. It was that. Yeah. I mean, man.
Starks could have had that interception. It was slightly tipped.
Awuzie close to it.
Hamilton almost jumped one. You can't blame him for not catching it.
They forced a fumble on Kincaid or whatever.
That's what it comes down to against Allen. Like you're not going to stop him. You have to make splash plays, and they had one sack for 5 yards, and they did not turn the ball over. And we've talked about this plays on defense. They can't get it done.
Soup to nuts today, though. Like from 1 o'clock till now, like AFC Northwise, just a cursed football day. For Ravens fans,
you were never gonna get a favor from the Jets, so I didn't even really account for that one.
No, but just generally speaking, just how does this shit keep happening?
The Ravens
end on that question.
When was the last time they won a week 1 on the road? They lost the Chiefs. They lost the Raiders. I think they played the Texans at home week 1.
Yeah.
It's
been a while.
It can't be all the way back to at my. It can't be all the way back to at Miami, can it?
I feel like they
It's probably
opened
it.
Yeah.
2020. I don't know. I can't remember what the 2020.
That was
remember
first
2020.
Browns at home. And they smoked them in that one. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think 2019 Miami was the last time they won an away game week 1.
Yeah.
And with Lamar, they're gonna keep playing these. They're gonna keep playing these either home or road primetime openers.
And here we sit, and it's a 12:15 on a Sunday night, and there's just going to be a lot of these in our future.
Or 11:15. Everyone
it just
come to
felt so
Central.
good at one point. That's the miserable part is it
City
just
games
felt
could've
so
sounded.
good for so long. It was an hour of real time where it felt so good.
Unbelievable.
That was what hurt. It felt so good and so right.
If
long.
it ends 40-32 and they score the touchdown, the Ravens clock it. Tomorrow morning, the talk is that the Ravens are the best team in the league.
Even 40-38.
It's unbelievable.
There's such a narrative type of thing to be like, well, 40-38, Lamar Jackson's got the ball, go win the game, and he didn't do it. Like, it's totally unfair for him to be put in that position, given how the game went. But at the same time, like, go make it happen.
Yeah, go make it
loss. It's a team
loss. But if he did go get that first down and we win the game 40-38, like
and this is a good comment. I was totally the same way with this comment because like they just were not stopping them all night. You know, the Cool Kingston.
Their defense just started chilling. It just felt chill. It just felt like, oh, they'll dink and dunk, and then whoa, they scored. Oh my shit! Oh shit! Oh my god, a third time. It was just.
It's like, wow, damn, yeah, again, huh? Like they're just gonna keep doing this. It's like, yeah,
it's been a defensive. Other than Mike McDonald, 1 year, other than 2023, that's been the constant. Really, I mean, their defense can't close games. They did get the 2-point conversion on that stupid back shoulder fade that the Bills threw for God knows why, but end up getting bailed out on it. That was like, oh my god, they got one stop and then bam, Bills have the ball again, 3 and out, bam, 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 bam. I don't know. There's a lot we can say. There's a little we can say. Some people say
Zay Flowers is good.
Zay Flowers is outstanding.
Offense as a whole, we cannot lose sight of the fact they did not have Isaiah Likely and Pat Ricard, and they went out and scored 40 points in that environment. Like, I'm encouraged by the offense. Like, this is the best version of this offense that we've seen, and it just feels like they find ways to keep getting better, even in spite of injuries. I think it showed, especially like this is totally retroactive and like not really that germane to anything that happened tonight, but Zay Flowers missing that playoff game might have actually been a bigger deal than I think people nationally realized. Overall, I feel great about the offense. That's fantastic. I think the defense will probably figure it out and be fine. But once again, guys, it's like we're going to do 16 more of these and then we'll go into the playoffs. And it's just like, well, this is when these really start to matter, right? This is when they can reverse narratives, do X, Y, Z. And it's just like, I hate to be nihilistic about it. And I hate to like take a look a gift horse in the mouth with a great regular season team. But it's just kind of weirdly the fact that they lose, it just drives it home again. And, again, lost for words.
No, these Brandon says, Spenny, you can get annoyed at people jumping the gun about firing Harbaugh or even Elias, but it's a cultural thing to be able to finish games, the biggest games, and Harbaugh hasn't been able to cultivate that. I don't really understand, like, what is the thing? Like, can you tell me the tangible thing that it is that's the cultural thing? Because if you can tell me what it is, then we can, like, what am I? Derrick Henry fumbles. Like, I don't. Is it because of Harbaugh? Harbaugh is why Derrick Henry fumbles. I think it's just, it's that we view the Ravens haven't won the Super Bowl. So that means they always lose the big game. So if they haven't won the Super Bowl, the only person who's been here all the times they haven't lost the Super Bowl still is John Harbaugh. So it's just the de facto thing is like, well, it's the coach. And I can see that being a reasonable, like, he's the remaining thing. So sure, but I don't know. It's just like week 1, Derrick Henry fucking fumbles.
He doesn't fumble. Like he doesn't do that.
He's the closer. He's the closer. The Ravens were 10-0, including the playoffs last year when Derrick Henry ran for 100 yards. He ran rampant. That ball pops out, and suddenly they score 2 touchdowns. And the defense was kind of playing too conservative, but like making the Bills have to go play. And then suddenly they had the ball in the 30 again or whatever it was. So it's just, to me, that's just what it came down to. Like tip ball, Keon Coleman, and then that. So it's like the pendulum swung twice and it hit the Ravens in the temple twice. I don't know. Like Ed Oliver made a play. Derrick Henry had the ball high and tight. Justice Hill had the ball high and tight. He almost lost one too. So the fumbles have to be addressed and worked on and talked about, and drills have to be done and all of those things. But I just, maybe Harbaugh's cursed. I can feel like that a little bit. Like I genuinely feel bad for the guy. Like he had this offense fucking humming. They've got players in place. They've made coaching changes. They have a 2-score lead, and then those two kind of stupid things happen. And I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just not even like gonna entertain the Harbaugh stuff. Like, I'm not even to say that like I don't think it could happen. Like maybe it could, whatever. I just don't. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Maybe it will after the season. We can talk about it then. But like, it's just not even a relevant like thing right now, unfortunately. And if people are mad about it, they want to get it off their chest. I'm fine with that too. I
tweeted about it. They mismanaged the clock before the half. They absolutely did. But like, I watched Sean Payton today going full goof pickle with the clock. Like, they're not the only ones that don't do it perfectly. Like the Bills did some weird things in this game too, I think, as well. So it's sure that before the half, but like that didn't kill them. They had a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter. Despite that, does it end up counting? Maybe, but like I'll take a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter 100 times out of 100. And they got on their heels defensively. They turned the football over, and got to give the Bills some credit. I mean, we haven't really said that, but sure. They just.
I want to counter that a little bit, though. It's like, is it so much to ask for to have the good clock management? Like it's an accepted football thing that some games you're going to fumble, some games you're going to doink a kick. That happens. But if there are things to clean up the margins and just cut down on like where the gaps are between us and lesser teams, like, is that so much to ask to clean up some of that stuff that seems to be a consistent theme?
No, certainly not. Like, strive for perfection. And
I'm with you. That's not where the finger is the point
at the end of the half. So it was like, shit. What if you come out in the second half, you go 3 and out, you give the Bills the ball back, it's a tie game when it shouldn't be. So like that part sucked of it. But then again, it's like, it's just always fourth quarter shit. I don't know. It defensively feels like you're absolutely right. They should have. I tweeted it was horrible clock management. Made no sense. They run the play before the 2-minute warning, and then they don't run the clock down all the way. Lo and behold, the Bills kick a field goal, and ultimately the Ravens lose by 1 point. So you can certainly argue it goes that way, but I just, again, having the 2-score lead and the turnovers, it's always a fucking fumble in Buffalo, they've gone to Buffalo 3 times. The last 3 times they've gone to Buffalo, they threw the ball over Lamar's head into the end zone. He got a concussion trying to throw the ball out of bounds. He throws a pick 6 on the goal line for no reason. Then they go there last year, the fumble by DeMar Hamlin with the interception that was just a floating interception in their own territory. They go there tonight. They have a 2-score lead. They fumbled twice in the backfield. The running back straight up got stripped in the backfield, one of which being Derrick Henry. It's like, that is the thing that always is the dagger. The clock management needs to be better. Everything needs to be better. Harbaugh is not the best coach in the NFL. I don't think that. I think he's good, but it's just always a turnover. When I think of Buffalo, I think of that's what I'll think. They always lose. Ravens playing the Bills in Buffalo in a week from now, I'll say, oh, they turned the ball over.
They always lose the turnover battle too. It's like you turn it over one time, you don't get it once from them, and again, 1 sack for 5 yards. Like the splash plays with this defense just need to be there in these spots with these big name quarterbacks, because like I'm going to keep coming back to, like, you're not going to be able to stop them consistently. It's not fair to ask in the modern NFL for them to even really do that. So yeah, you got to find a way to fucking get your hands on the football.
Well, and the thing is as great as Josh Allen is, he will give you a couple chances a game to get your hands on it.
He did do it
because of what makes him so great is the fearlessness of everything that he does.
And they're going to go out there next week.
He's similar to Lamar. I mean, they're very similar in that way.
They're going to go out there next week and they're going to pick off Joe Flacco, and they're going to probably get a fumble, and they're going to get a bunch of sacks, and they're going to feel great. And maybe you tee off on Jared Goff in week 3, who's not as mobile, and you start to feel better about yourself. But again, it's just going to come back to these aliens at quarterback, right? How's it going to look against the Bengals? In your 2 matchups, how's it going to look against Allen if you have to play him again? How's it going to look against Mahomes in week 4? That's really the only measuring stick. And you can bring in this Jair Alexander, big acquisition, and you can draft Mike Green, you can draft Malachi, and you can bring in Chuck Pagano, and you can try to sell me a bridge, to Brooklyn. But until it happens in a big spot against one of these quarterbacks, particularly in the playoffs, like it's just like all this stuff we're being fed about this defense and the turnaround and the mentality being different. And Brian, to your point about how angry they were about the playoff loss last year, it rings hollow,
Mark said, anything of note, good or bad, from Starks or Green other than the drop pick? I thought Starks isn't the biggest dude on earth, but I like the way he fit the run. He fit the run, broke down really well, met guys in the hole.
Couple hustle plays I saw. The one that was terrible tackling by Roquan, he didn't quit on that play. He wasn't the one who made the tackle. It was Wiggins who did it, but I really like the way he just pursued and didn't quit on it.
Green, to me, the only things I saw just on watching the broadcast was just like he was winning. It's just you can't winning against Josh Allen isn't good necessarily. Like on third down in the first half, I think he gave up. He had a cross chop on Deion Dawkins. He got his corner, but it just was like, oh, well, Josh Allen's faster than the rest of your defensive line. And he just headed out and hit, I think, Keon Coleman on the sideline on 3rd and 10 because you gave up contain. And then he had another cross chop win. And pressuring him is okay, but it just I think is it's eye-opening. Josh Allen's really good, man, especially at escaping. He took 1 sack tonight. He only was sacked 14 times last year. So people are like, oh, the Ravens' defensive line sucks. They didn't dominate by any means, but no one sacks Josh Allen. They have a good 5, and he's just unbelievably good at scrambling. So we talked about in the preview, Jake, he is the best scrambler. He has the most scrambling yards. He makes the most plays scrambling. I think it's going to be I think when Mike Green watches, oh, your cross chop was sick, but you'll notice Kyle Van Noy, when he won, he would back out. He'd be like, I beat my man, and then I'm going to banana to the sideline because I know Josh Allen's going to roll. So it's the things that you were drafted for are great, but then when you're playing a great quarterback like Josh Allen, it's you're playing a different sport than you were playing at Marshall or at Georgia.
Right. You're playing these middling pocket passers that are going to be working for
Jared Goff. Mike Green might have had 2 sacks tonight if it was Jared Goff instead of Josh Allen.
That's what I'm saying. It's these 4 aliens at quarterback, and the Ravens are fortunate to have one of them, but those are the guys that you've got to find a way to pick the ball off and put the ball on the ground and, get a fumble and get sacks. And man, if a potential playoff rematch with the Bills again looks like something like this, it's just tough to ask your offense to go in and score 40 points like they did tonight. And you know what? They did it and they still lose because he's just that fucking good. So.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, just kept at it and kept at it and kept at it. The Ravens did get some stops. Bills had 13 points at half, and then they had 25 at one point in the fourth quarter. The Ravens got a couple stops, and he just kept chiseling away. And it was I don't know. It was just it almost felt like you were watching recess, and the other felt like you were watching recess, and the other team just got tired and was ready for their Capri Sun. And Josh Allen don't need no Capri Sun. He just kept moving and rolling and doing all that stuff. Crazy plays. Lamar, Josh Allen had a couple, just extending, and the one Lamar had turning his back, doing the fake whip, coming back around, scrambling for 45 yards. No wonder he said he had cramps. I mean, running all around town, crazy running. I think that happened.
That should have been the backbreaker because he had the Henry touchdown run, the second one right after.
Felt like the backbreaker.
Yeah, I mean that should have been it, but again,
here says defense owns this loss. I mean, shit, man. Ravens put up 40 points.
That's where I'm at with both with all the coaching stuff and the hardball, the situational stuff, all that. Those are the small margins that lost you this thing, but it cannot be unremarked upon that you give up 41 points. I mean, it's just I know turnover leads to a short field for one of them, but my God, that shouldn't be within the DNA of this franchise.
Poor special teams on the first kickoff gives Josh a short field to come down on the first drive, and then you don't down the ball at the 1 yard line when you usually could have too. Those are against a quarterback like that, you can't give them things on special teams as well. And if you want to go after Harbaugh for that, that's probably fine too. My thing on the Harbaugh thing is I think it's just 2 different conversations. In a world of not frustration, get things off my chest, this guy's not going anywhere. So the discussion almost feels worthless to have. Like you said, Jake, it's not even a discussion worth engaging in because it's just not happening. So why even have it?
It's not happening yet. I mean, listen, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, sure. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. In a disaster scenario. And then the other conversation is similar, Jake, to reiterate what you said, is if people though want to vent their frustrations about the coaching, sure. I mean, after a loss like that, say whatever you want. Like what? Like I have
We're
nothing
endeared
to
to
say
the
back.
players as fans. We're not
Yeah.
endeared to the coaches as much. I
Correct.
get it.
So you do that. You do that entire thing. So yeah, I mean, it's just one of those weird situations with a coach where, you know, this is the kind of the leadership structure that this ownership group has gone with for essentially, 20, 25 years outside of a, one head coaching change. And it has led the Ravens to be one of the 5 or 6 best franchise in the league for 30 years. And so they're going to keep riding with it. And it's gotten to us to a point where, you're a few margins away the last 4 or 5 years from making Super Bowls and maybe winning Super Bowls. But eventually, if you don't get over the hump, obviously that noise gets louder and louder. And that's what we've, talked about on these instant analysis and weekly pods for 6 years. So
it's just disgusting that DeAndre Hopkins, probably excluding maybe moment or playoffs versus regular season, that was the best catch in Ravens history.
Yeah, I tweeted it.
Brian, you sometimes can remember things from 18 years ago or 14 years ago better than me.
I don't remember that one.
Like, if fucking Flacco had a guy like that, he would have won 3 Super Bowls.
Correct. Yeah,
Wallet had a stick on Flacco, I think.
I remember Michael Crabtree in week 2 or week 3 of his stint in Baltimore caught something in the back of the end zone that made me say something similar, like, "Oh, we've never had that kind of player before, never that kind of catch. A guy who can go up and get it with athleticism." Like Bolden, yeah, he went up and got it with strong 2 hands, but that was different. That's a special kind of play that we just haven't seen.
Yeah, that's awesome. If you get 1 or 2 of the, not 2 of those, but if you get one play like that, every once in a while, and he moves the chains for you, I think that's just about all you're going to need from him with an offense that, like I said, Zay Flowers looking awesome tonight, Henry looking awesome outside of the fumble. Mark Andrews really didn't do anything. I feel like he'll pick up against some of these lesser teams. Isaiah likely not playing, Ricard not playing. Like I said, it feels like they weren't even able to really fully tap into what they can do tonight, and they go out there and they score 40 in a raucous environment with the best fans in football up in Buffalo.
And again, 3 Wills here says 1 sack, no pass rush. Clowney, where are thou? I think he means Jair should be on IR. Josh Allen was sacked less than 1 time per game last year. Sacked 14 times last year. So that was better than what
I think we did what we wanted to do for the most part in terms of just containing him. Like exactly what you said about Van Noy. It's not about just sprinting with your head down at him. You got to be smart about where you're trying to flush him out to. Not to say we did a great job of that, and especially didn't down the stretch, but
I think he's one of 4.
There was a period of the game where we were really kind of dictating the terms.
Started to really bottle him up a bit. Some balls were sailing on him. He had a couple nice throws. Yeah.
He's one of 4.
People shitting on Roquan Smith. He did miss that tackle on James Cook for sure. James Cook got him and 2 others.
Yeah, Allen outraced him to the pylon there. I mean, that's kind of, I don't totally put that on him, but
yeah. No, I mean, but bad. James Cook got him. I don't know. I could go watch it and maybe say what's bad, but I don't know. I have not seen that one happen. I thought he played well than that. Thought Simpson and Buchanan were all right in those zones there. Buchanan had that tough rep. Ty Johnson almost made that crazy catch on him off of his fingertips, but he was right there in coverage. Thought those guys were all right. I mean, Ravens offensive line, I thought played pretty well. Ed Oliver got him a couple times, but I think the Bills just knew it was coming eventually, and Ed Oliver's quick and beat him to the point. So definitely some good things to take away. Definitely some scar tissue that just gets ripped open from blown 4th quarter leads by Ravens defenses that were not Mike McDonald's 2023 Ravens. That's the story to me over in the 2020s. This defense blows leads in the second half, and then I specifically think of Buffalo. They just have weird turnovers. I don't know why. There was a comment in here at some point. It was like, do you think John Harbaugh is not stressing ball security and having him do the best drills? They just fucking got Derrick Henry got stripped somehow, some way. Ball was 5 points of contact, punched right out.
I'm in the stage now where it's like maybe we're just meant to go back to Buffalo and just slay them there.
I love this. I love this.
Maybe we're just
this is last year in September. What did it do?
I love the
it's New
comeback
Year's.
around at the end of the pod to like maybe this is how it's supposed to go. That is where we're gonna get around in every single one of these.
I can't do it, man. Like I can't.
I actually love that you got there though.
I know. I appreciate what you're trying to do. You always you always try to find the meaning. You always try to find the narrative. I really love it, but it's like, God damn it, man. We've been through this so many times. I've been stabbed through the heart 4,000 times in the last 6-7 years. I just want the easiest fucking path possible, and for them to just finally do it. And like, this is not the start I was looking for.
I can't wait to run this play after the week 4 heartbreaking loss in Kansas City.
Yeah, no.
Maybe we've got to go through Kansas City and Buffalo on the road.
Buffalo and Kansas City. Yeah, that's exactly. You're going to draw parallels like, well, they beat Peyton Manning and Tom Brady twice in a row.
And we're going to lose. We're going to lose in Green Bay in heartbreaking fashion, and we're going to see them in Santa Clara.
Yeah.
Let's just put it all together now.
The redemption and the revenge. Oh my God, these guys were so mad after that loss. Yeah, man, they were just fucking steaming. They just can't wait to get their revenge.
Why don't we just lose the division to Cincy too and go there in the wild card round while we're at it?
Yeah, no, just
it's just
You set them up, I knock them back. Give me all the revenge narratives in the world. That's what this team needs is revenge narratives.
Speaking of locker room narratives, Derrick Henry told the media that he said to the locker room that the loss was on him. I'm interested to see now, and this is always a situation where we don't ever know because you don't know everything that goes in a locker room. We just kind of pontificate about what we think is going on. This is like an early gut punch test of kind of what your like leadership structure and everything looks like. Like, are you going to go down this road? Like, Harbaugh gave the classic, like, we're going to go back to work, which is the quote every coach is going to give. But like, what is the actual mood tomorrow? Is it, here we go again? Or is it, okay, like, this is one game in a very, very long season. Can we kind of put this behind us and kind of go towards our ultimate goal? And I know that's like very like narrative driven or whatever, but it doesn't have to go perfect the entire season for a team to win a championship. And it never really does. And the Ravens have gotten theirs done very quickly, and we'll kind of see what they, I think, are made of in terms of the start at home against Cleveland, where it's going to go from a euphoric crowd next week to probably sort of like a half euphoric, half like, what the hell happened?
I don't foresee any euphoria. I think it's just going to be pissed off. Like,
the energy in Lat H is going to be something else.
Yeah,
but I think if you just if they come out and just dust the Browns from the word go, I know that doesn't mean anything to anybody really, but I think that will show us a little bit of how they respond, because I do think like we made fun of in our text, we were making fun of like the report of them. Of the like the energy on the sideline and stuff. But like that type of stuff will matter next week. Like, how do they look in all facets of that stuff? Because that stuff does end up mattering. Like, it matters, how you go about your business from that perspective over the course of a season. Like, can you take the punches and continue to come back over and over? And so I'm just interested in what they look like next week. If they come out lethargic next week, I think that'll be a little concerning.
Well, I mean, like, you look at 1 year ago to the day, just about, they take that loss to the Chiefs. I actually remember walking out of that game being like, all right, you know what? They went toe to toe, pun not intended, against one of the, against the preeminent powerhouse in the AFC, and they get it done, or they don't quite get it done. And it's like, okay, I feel good. Then you go and you step on a rake against the Raiders and you lose a massive, just a game that winds up being massive for seeding purposes. Like, I think you're right. Like, that game does have a lot of import against the Browns. And yeah, you want to go out there and not only beat them, but you want to absolutely stuff them in a locker. Like, you want to do all of that stuff. And I don't know. It's hard to think about right now with this wound still so fresh. But like, man, if they don't, it kind of feels like a college football thing. Like, if they don't go out there and like just beat the brakes off these guys, like, yeah, maybe you do start to worry. And especially if the defense looks like it did in this game, then yeah, I'd be concerned about the defense in particular. Like I said, I have all the confidence in the world in this offense. I think they'll put up points, especially in a comfy home 1 p.m. time slot. But this defense has a lot of shit to answer for. And to bring it all the way back to what you were talking about with Henry owning that loss, I think the defense was looking around like Homelander in that clip in the pool, just kind of laughing like, oh yeah, okay, like, yeah, for sure, man.
Right.
Yeah, that one's on you. Yeah, definitely, Derek. Yeah, we buy into that. Like, no, I think they wear this one. They damn well better.
Yeah, Hamilton said something like, we have to figure out a way to win these games. Well said.
Yeah,
I
no.
I
you,
honestly
Kyle.
don't think they go humming and hawing as much as we do. Like, I really don't think they go.
And the thing is, you can't. I think that's the thing that like you cannot do that. You have to like your eyes are set on bigger things. You have to like it's it's why sometimes the cliche things get tossed under the rug, but this like flush stuff after 1 hour like the teams talk about, like you have to do that. Like you're gonna walk into the pressure cooker if these guys watch anything or look at social media or whatever they decide to do. Like they're gonna have to wear it the entire time. So as a locker room, you kind of have to get over that. Not that we're any of us are inside of it or inside any locker room right now, but
it's their job. Sometimes you have a bad day at work, it can stay with you for a little while, but like most of the time it's like you kick a trash can and you drink a beer and you're fine. And like that, hopefully, yeah, that's how it is for them. And they can just kind of, because like, again, like, I don't know if all this dwelling and like all this, we were so angry about the loss and we're going to go get our revenge. I don't know if you really need to do that. Like, don't make these things bigger in your head than they need to be anyway. Like, just go out there and wax the Browns and try to feel a little bit better about yourself going into Lions and Chiefs and Texans and Rams, and that whole gauntlet.
Yeah, I mean, they'll beat the Browns. Who gives a fuck about the Browns? Whatever. I'm
clipping that for when they lose.
Same season on repeat. Chiefs bounce you. You go to Kansas City, inexplicably lose despite playing well. Bills bounce you. You go back to Buffalo, lose inexplicably. Week 1,
they'll have 12 or 13 wins. Everyone's going to talk about them as the team that nobody wants to play going into the playoffs, and then
they just have to not. It's just self-inflicted. Don't run Derrick Henry 4 times. Why didn't you run? Oh, he fumbled. I don't know what's the answer, man. Like they get Derrick Henry. They literally signed the best closer. Like, oh man, sometimes our defense gets gas late, so we'll sign Derrick Henry. And then he ran for 1,900 yards and had 16 touchdowns. And then in this game, he ran for 200 yards and was steamrolling through them. We got the closer. Oh, the defense is tired? It's all right. We got the closer. 2 touchdowns in 5 seconds.
Even if he runs into the line of scrimmage 3 consecutive times there, it's a different game.
Yeah.
And you punt.
Yeah.
Like,
yes. And they don't have enough time.
You got the first down. You got the Lamar first down. They would have had to use the timeouts right there.
Yep. If they got no yards.
0 yards. Zippity yards.
0 yards and ate up 2 minutes. Then the Bills probably don't have their timeouts. Bam, bam, bam. It's just
there's an alternate universe
where
the Bills
they be doing differently. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like they were like, shit, we really need a bell cow who can put the game away and take some pressure off Lamar. They got one. That's what he is. And then that happened.
There's the alternate universe where the Bills don't run a stupid 2-point play and they actually convert one with a Josh Allen run off the tackle or something. And then it's a 40-40 game. Lamar gets the ball and the scripting
you're playing
is totally
aggressively.
different. Yeah.
Then you're throwing the ball and
you're
it's
opening the whole playbook. Yeah. And Tyler Louque is the hero with a 43-yard field goal. Like,
again, if you are not a fan of the Ravens, this was an incredible game. If you're a Bills fan, it was especially incredible. If you were a Giants fan, a Cardinals fan, a Jaguars
the
fan,
Bengals game from last year, just the reverse side of it.
Yeah, I'm sure if you're a Bills fan, you feel great, but it's like they honestly, like, as much as they've like beat up on some of these teams in wild card games and all that kind of stuff, they probably have the same thoughts in the back of their mind about the playoffs.
Oh, it's the same. It's the 2 teams in the exact same situation. They're in the exact same scenario, and they have to go through each other and the Chiefs every single year. And neither team's. It's literally the same team. Obviously, not the same team, but in terms of a narrative, they are the same team. The same team, the exact same team. 2 East Coast cities that don't get talked about at all, with alien quarterbacks, and have not been able to get it done, and feel like this is their chance with Ryan Clark, generational quarterbacks on their team.
Taylor, please. That's the non-player in you. All right. Let Brian.
Like, you're right.
Last year, the Ravens smoked the Bills in the regular season. Disappointment in Buffalo.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's just upside down.
We were meant to go back to Buffalo.
Yeah, and it's like, and then you get through them, and then guess what? You're probably heading to Kansas City. So
we were meant to do that too.
Or SoFi.
It's all meant to be. Yeah, SoFi. Listen, that's another power emerges on the West Coast.
God, can you imagine a Harbaugh in the playoffs this year?
That would be honestly like
that might kill you, Jake.
no, that might be the salve that this team needs for the playoffs to go up against the Los Angeles Chargers. I think of all the curse that that people want to talk about with the Ravens. Like, listen, maybe
we got some commentary from my mother on the commentary here.
Looks like they got it right for him.
How'd you feel about your boy Chris Taylor?
I like Tirico and Chris. I know Chris gets killed. I'm sure people roll their eyes every year I give this take on the show. I think Tirico and Chris are entertaining. I think Chris does a good job. I don't think that they root against the Ravens like everyone thinks that they do. All he does is slobber over Lamar every single game, and Kyle Hamilton, and Derrick Henry, and probably because he slobbers over Harbaugh. That's what probably freaks everybody out. Yeah. But he does this with every team. Like, this is what they do. It's the real issue for NBC is the studio show is just, I don't, it's Jake's guy, the Clapper,
Coach Maria,
Coach
yeah,
Rodney, Jack. Television is really hard. It is the most uninteresting TV you really could drop for a league that is incredibly exciting and interesting all the time. Like,
it feels like a warm blanket though. It kind of feels like I poured a shot of whiskey into a chamomile tea, a little hot toddy, and I just, sit down and just sort of drone off and dream about. I've been waiting all day anyway for Sunday night, and then finally it's about to come up. So this idea that we waited all day, I waited all day for that. That's what I get. That's my shit sandwich on a Sunday night that I waited all day for. Thanks, NBC.
Good performance from Carey in the pregame. As per usual.
It's got to be the dumbest song I've ever heard. 1 minute for Sunday night. They watch football dawn day.
Steve Ashley, the season is over. It is over. You can pack it in.
Honestly, like for people that say that stuff, that I'll quit them if X, Y, and Z happens. Like, maybe you should. Like I thought about it. After this, I was like, why the fuck do I even watch this what am I doing to myself? Like, even in the best case scenario, it's like, this is going to be the year for my team, even though it never happens. Then when it doesn't happen, you're like, I'm going to fucking lose my mind. And then it doesn't happen again. And it's like, how could this happen? How did my team not get it done this year when it literally only
two of your very favorite things are golf and viewing sports teams that disappoint you. So
yeah. And big
talk about just abusing yourself.
Yeah, big Rory McIlroy fan. I know that finally ended, but that listen, it's good stuff, man. Maybe
theoretically 1 out of 32 years, you're happy.
We should really one of these where the Ravens week 8 or whatever, beat whoever they're playing by 20, and we have nothing to talk about. We should just do a philosophical conversation of how we all take sports in. We should just do that.
Yeah. Hey,
how do you keep it in perspective? We could just talk about 3 listeners.
Yeah. Put our really, really lay it all out there. Just to, keep it in perspective. I like it.
That one will have 3. This one had 2,500. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for this. This is why it's nice. This is why I enjoy doing the podcast with you fellows. I was sad. Now I'm fine. It's a nice.
It does allow you just to talk it out.
This is what the youths call copium, and copium we have bountifully. So subscribe, come cope. It's fun.
I have to go to work tomorrow, Spencer, and you know what that means for me.
Oh no. Oh, no.
I feel like at the end of these we do. Does anybody have any takes from the league they want to give today before we're done? General league takes.
Pass game is ass around the NFL in general. Discombobulated. The practice time was significantly cut down again. Coaches have been pretty vocally complaining about how little time there is, which is an awesome thing to complain about as a coach. I need more time with my guys. But it was a lot of young quarterbacks, a lot of there was just it wasn't rhythm, timing, and pass games overall. The games I watched, honestly, Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers were 2 of the best, which was fun in many ways. That was an awesome game. Those are probably the 2 games of the day. Would probably this one and that one. I'd say just about.
Can't wait to get
CJ Stroud so bad. Matt Stafford and the Rams looked weird. The Lions. Honestly, the Packers pass game wasn't very good. Like I can just keep going and going and going. It just felt like the pass game was so disoriented. There was such bad pass protection overall. Feels like gonna be ugly. Should have been
Bengals offensively were totally out of sync.
longest receptions, things like that.
Drake May, not the second coming of Christ, Jake.
No, yeah, it turns out that we might have jumped the gun there with Billy Boy, and then a big game for Justin Herbert too. So he's got a lot to answer for, Uncle Bill. Hoping Sal holds him to account.
Holds him to account on that one.
Yeah,
after a good performance from his Cowboys.
Yeah. Listen, they fought just like the Ravens. They fought and they just came up short at the end, but it's okay. You can hold your head high and whatever John Harbaugh says. You just put your nose back to the grindstone, and we'll be better next week, right?
Sick revenge narrative from Aaron Rodgers.
Listen, I'll defend him on that one. I'm sure he got asked about it, and he probably just said what he was thinking.
I don't mind it. He can say whatever he wants. I mean, he's got a Super Bowl. He's a Hall of Famer. Say whatever you want, man. You want to be mad at the Jets? Be mad at the Jets.
Take it a cross-country flight to just be like, no, we're good here. Like
that's tough. Yeah, that's it.
That
My guy AG, Aaron Glenn. Yeah, he kind of did him dirty there. Not that I wouldn't have done the same in the situation, probably, but I don't know if I'd put him on a flight. To be fair,
Rodgers, and let me tell you, if that gets rolling at all, Rodgers and Coach Tomlin is a hell of a combo of just
one of the more insufferable sideline shots. Those two celebrating together. That's just going to be heartrending for me. I'm going to be in an absolute blender.
I hate Jalen Ramsey so much.
Big celebration on that stop. He was fired up.
Yeah, it was a great hit though. That was a great hit. My only other one I had was the throw that Baker made to Ibuka at the end of the game was an awesome throw.
Love Baker.
I can say something. Now that he's out of the division, I freaking love Baker. I absolutely love him. I love that he's on the Bucs, a team that I now have vested interest in. The guy is just the best. Slinging it. He's gonna make mistakes. He's got really fun weapons now. Ibuka is awesome. Good pick. Good draft pick by the Bucs. That guy seems like a stud.
Yeah, very Falcons game. Way to.
And Penix, who we talked about in the happy hour. Penix was pretty good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed my watching of Penix.
You enjoy you have Penix envy.
In a manner of speaking.
Yeah.
The on the other side, Bryce Young. Oh boy.
Yeah, that could get bad.
Your guy Tepper, Jake.
Uncle Dave not going to be standing for this nonsense. He might trade for Aaron Rodgers.
He can bring back TB12.
Yeah. Listen, we could all see it. Get him out of the booth and back on the field. That could be good for everyone. Oh, all right. Any other takes before we wrap this bad boy up?
No. I'm excited to see
every loss. Like the Ravens don't lose very many games, and every loss they have is just always they have not lost normally in 5 years.
I wouldn't mind losing by 14, where we're down 7, and the other team just kind of squeezes it and pushes a touchdown across the line late. It's like, oh yeah, they just beat us. I think I would like to feel
the Eagles kind of did that, and the Ravens scored.
They got
the Eagles kind of.
Yeah, they got
the Eagles is the I would agree with that.
And that is the one in 5+
years.
Yeah,
and they won the Super Bowl, and that's the one in 5 years. It's just the Chiefs. They lost by 2 scores too, I think.
And I think we were meant to actually lose that game so that we could see the Eagles in the Super Bowl this year and beat them. That was actually
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. There was that Thursday night football game against Miami where we played like ass.
They're going to beat the Eagles and the Packers, actually.
Right.
Going to beat them 2 in a row to win the Super Bowl.
There's going to be some sort of conference realignment, some sort of
in the middle of the season.
Big event happens. Yeah.
Line them up.
Yeah.
Kyle Hamilton, just final note, truly, Kyle Hamilton. I want to say very easily, not very easily, very difficultly. Could have blocked that kick though. What the fuck?
Well, his reaction is you can tell he was right there. Obviously got a piece of it, but is close to he throws his hand over his head.
In real time, the ball getting kicked, I thought, ooh, we have the hands where we need them to. There's that little split second where it's oh, the ball's up in the air.
Well said, Lord
Hamon.
The Ravens are
Lord.
not the Dolphins or the Panthers. That's
turn
why
the ball over.
it's always
That's the
tough.
perspective.
Always tough
That's-
with the pretty purple birds who win a lot of games. It's just always tough.
Mike
Listen, right.
McDaniel over under week
Ooh.
fired.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's
When's their
Does he
bye?
Does he make it out of September?
that feels doomed.
They have an early bye.
Let's take a look at their schedule. I mean, just
Anthony Weaver is a perfect interim head coach too.
Yeah, he was born for that.
Tough quote from Mr. McDaniels at the game. So he was
Patriots, and they've got a short week against the Bills. If they go to 0-3 with an 11-day wait, that could be it right there. I mean, they're going to get
week 3 is early though. I think the Patriots would have to blow them out, and then
week
they'd have to lose
3 Thursday Night Football. Dolphins at Bills is going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Their bye week is way late. It's like November 20th.
I guess it doesn't necessarily matter. That's just always like the cliche.
It is,
Fire them around the bye. But
they play November 16th, presumably in London. It's a 9:30.
I was going to say if they have a London game, you can have it be a leave the coach in London game. That's another old sim.
right on the tarmac.
I'd
Lane
be
Kiffin.
stunned if it makes it that long with the way it's trending, but yeah.
It just feels like a Stephen Ross move to wait and let that happen and just be petty. Like, enjoy your crumpets, asshole. You're fired. Just...
I mean, let me tell you something. He couldn't look less disinterested more disinterested, excuse me.
No, I mean, his comments are just increasingly nihilistic. It kind of makes me concerned.
Very bizarre.
Well-being. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough break.
Good sunglasses, though, on the sideline. He beat Tomlin in that one today.
Yeah, he wears like his,
good.
Yeah.
Big for him.
My only last comment is go Bears. Huge one tomorrow here in
Yeah,
Chicago.
Bears. Yeah,
I'm really excited to see who those two teams are.
Come on, Bears.
Make drastic judgments off of this one game tomorrow night.
Yep. JJ versus Caleb. Whew.
I need Caleb to have like some kind of stinky game and just take the narrative off the Ravens so I can go into hiding.
Good narrative or bad narrative? Like throws 4 picks or becomes good?
Honestly, I think a Caleb stinker would be even better for
Yeah.
narratives, for really creating buzz.
I'm just trying to get the spotlight off of the Ravens.
We're going back to Buffalo.
Let us.
Unfortunately, I have a disturbing amount of Caleb Williams like shares in things that I've entered or participated in. So
He in the ACL pool.
He's just always there in the end of every like draft I do, and I'm just like, why would I not make him my second quarterback in best ball? Why would I not do that? He's going to score 30 touchdowns, and Ben Johnson will be the sweet prince. Nothing in my life goes wrong, and the Ravens are great.
It is kind of the offensive whisperer versus the offensive whisperer tomorrow.
It is.
Let me tell you something. Sam Darnold out of the Kevin O'Connell scenario, not as good today.
Not looking great. No.
Danny Dimes, on the other hand,
Indiana Jones.
my Colts. Yeah. My Colts going to go 9-8, baby. This is just the first step. All right. I think that does it. Thank you, everyone, for hanging with us here in the comments section. All 2,500 plus of you. Thank you, everyone, for listening after the fact on demand. Not the most fun one to recap, but fun one to watch for about 98% of it. So I guess that we got that going for us, which is nice. Yeah, we'll certainly see what happens next week. But in the meantime, if you liked what you heard here, subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment on it, get that algorithm pumping for us. Subscribe on your podcast platform of choice, if that is how you are listening. You can find us on social media at Exit 52 Podcast on X. Also on X, you can find me at Jake Louque. That's Louque. Spenny at Ravens 4 Dummies. That is the number 4 in the middle. Taylor at Taylor Smyth 10. Brian at Barstool Banks. Find us on Instagram, Exit 52 Podcast. Same thing on TikTok. We appreciate you guys very much for listening to us vent, and we'll be back at you hopefully in a little more level-headed space very, very soon.